All right. Welcome everyone to the Wednesday night oasis. It is a wild and unruly crew this evening. I hope you are ready for a wonderful evening. I know that we are. My name is Reverend Sally Bartholomew, and I am a staff minister. I'm also the secretary of the Board of Trustees, and I'm just having a lot of fun here at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. And I invite you to join me. Glad you're joining me this evening. Wednesday night oasis, it is quite an experience. It is a place where we come together between Sundays to be spiritually refreshed and uplifted, where we get the opportunity to build upon the theme that was discussed the previous Sunday, sharing in what we call a satsang style. Our speaker will speak, maybe ask some questions, there'll be some interchange. It will be informal, intimate, and interactive. So our annual theme for this year has been living out loud. And I'm convinced that the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living absolutely is living out loud. This month, December, our theme is living as wholeness. Now, last Sunday, Reverend Sunshine Michelle introduced ideas inspired by the talk title, In the Name of Wholeness and Enriching the World. And tonight, our speaker, Reverend Aikya Param, will continue the exploration of this topic. So, as we do each week, we welcome anyone who is new to the Wednesday night service. And before I came on screen here, I saw that we had a lot of familiar faces. But if you are new, if you've navigated yourself to our YouTube site, I welcome you. And I also encourage you to go to our website, www.oaklandcsl.org. And when you go there, click on the I'm New icon. And when you do, I ask that you give us a piece of information, your email address. When you do, we'll start sending you the village news once a week to tell you about what's going on at the Oakland Center for Spiritual Living. Don't do it now. Stay tuned. Stay on to the Wednesday night. You can always do it after the service. So before we get started, I want to give you a couple of housekeeping notes. We've discovered that through our Zoom services, it's perfectly okay to leave your video cameras running and open so that the speaker has the opportunity to see your face in the gallery view. However, we do ask you to mute your audio portion of the Zoom meeting, and that way our recording is a much better quality than if we have noises breaking into what the speaker is saying. I invite you to stay tuned all the way to the end of the service, where we'll be giving you some special and important announcements. There's a lot going on at our center, and you don't want to miss anything. So I'd like to introduce our speaker. She is Reverend Aikya Param. She is a staff minister here at the Oakland Center, and she loves studying and sharing the writings of Ernest Holmes, the founder of religious science. She loves scripture like the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayana and ancient texts in Aramaic, the language that Jesus spoke. And I happen to know from participating in the Aramaic classes with her that she's really good at speaking the Aramaic language. And so, as we do with every organized event at the center, we open with prayer. And I understand, Reverend Aikya, that you have someone special in mind for our opening prayer. Who would you like to open us in prayer?
I would love it if Allison Knudsen could offer the prayer. Could you do that?
I would love to. So everybody just take a nice, just take that nice deep breath in, just knowing that this is the breath of life. This is God breathing you and breathing me. And in this stillness, this quietness, this attitude of serenity, we just melt into that stillness and allow the power and the presence of the One to show up. For God is everywhere present, no matter what, back of everything. There is absolutely no spot where God is not, and what a joy it is to know that God is love and God is the One, and we are one with that One. And in this moment, in this present moment, we take the time to come together in this oneness, in this celebration of love. As we become more present in this moment, we become that love. And how good it is to know that God is love and everywhere present, continually blessing us. And I know that God is within me and I am within God. We are all one. I am one with this One, just as everyone here is one with the One. Everyone that will be watching this Wednesday night service in the future on YouTube and Facebook is blessed in this moment by the One and is one with the One. And so I speak my word, blessing this time together, knowing that in this holiday season, we celebrate the Christ consciousness and we open our hearts in the attitude of love and receive what Reverend Aikya has to offer us tonight about wholeness. And we just soak in the love and the understanding and the goodness that is being offered and exchanged tonight. And so in the presence that we all are together tonight, I bless this time, knowing that everything will go just as it needs to go. And we will center ourselves in love and in wholeness. And so with God in charge, everything is running perfectly. And so please join me in saying, and so it
And
is.
so it is.
And so it is. You go, girl.
Thank you so much, Alice. That was wonderful. So our topic, as we just heard, was in the name of wholeness, enriching the earth. So it reminds me of a song that Reverend Sunshine mentioned in her talk on Sunday, in the name of wholeness. You know that song where they say, "Stop in the name of love before you break my heart." Diana Ross and the Supremes sang that to everybody's delight. So stop in the name of wholeness? Wow, what would that mean? Well, wholeness means unbroken. And Spirit sent me an inspiration to talk about when we want to get to wholeness, to talk about acceptance. And what I mean by that, here's what Wikipedia says. Acceptance in human psychology is a person's assent to the reality of a situation, recognizing a process or condition, often a negative or uncomfortable situation, as a fait accompli without attempting to change or protest it. And that's how almost everything is at the very beginning. When you come in and you see what's happening, you meet a new person, you start a new job, you move into a new house. There it is for a moment, for a time. And you just accept it while you figure out what's the best thing to do. Is this going to work for me? Whatever your thing is. But so acceptance, what does that have to do with wholeness? Well, it's interesting. We learn to identify with our bodies, with our families, with our social and ethnic groups, with our religious groups, and maybe even with our nation. embodying wholeness requires acceptance of all that is, not just mine, but all that is. What happens when we first meet someone different? My early childhood was spent in a working class suburb of New York City. And by today's standards, it wasn't very diverse. We had Jewish people and Christian people. That was the whole diversity. And one time when I was very, very tiny and I was going for a walk with my dad, we met a Chinese man who lived up the street. And I had never seen anybody who looked different from the people in my family. I was delighted and curious. And my dad had to explain to me later that that was Mr. Sen, and he lived up the street and he worked at the UN, and there were many kinds of people in the world. So I was just filled with wonder at that idea. It delighted me. I was never taught to reject people different from me. But, people, due to their history or the hardship they've endured, do reject those who are different from them. We're watching that in the news, in the terrible conflict that's going on between Israel and Hamas. But what about in the Christian Bible? How does this work, this acceptance? So I was led to think about St. Paul. St. Paul was a devout Jew. Nevertheless, he traveled around the Mediterranean world, teaching Gentiles, non-Jews, people different from him. And we all know St. Paul's letters. And when he wrote one letter to the Romans that said, God accepts people as they are, and so should we. That's Romans 5:6. How did Jesus show acceptance? Jesus came to accept those who had been rejected, to welcome the tax collectors and notorious sinners. He even ate dinner with them. My goodness, that was not at all a thing to do in his culture. Contrary to the practices of his time, he ministered to women and included them in his ministry. God is all there is, and everything is an expression of God, including you and I, including nasty things like that funny bug that Reverend Sunshine Michelle found in her office. Ooh, even that. And galaxies, tiny things only visible with a microscope. God is all there is, and everything is an expression of God. So God is wholeness. In the name of wholeness, how would we be? How would we be? My friend Janine Kanan, she's a poet, and she wrote in her book Mystic Bliss a poem entitled Unbroken. Wholeness means unbroken. She wrote, "Don't worry, we haven't broken the eternal return. Nothing here was ever forever. Anyway, I know, we're so fond of some things that humans have done, not to mention our relations, the animals and plants, but they and we're always transforming. Even planets are transitory. Something is behind it all. Only that remains." In the name of wholeness, how would we be? So, if we only look at physical things, people, countries, fruits and vegetables, things with forms, they come into existence, they last for a little while, and then they go out of existence. They are objects that we know. So here is my cup. I definitely am not my cup. It's an object of my awareness, and yours now too. Objects that we know are not who we really truly are. And if we think about physical objects, it's hard to picture all of them, the wholeness of them all. Well, so who are we? If we're not objects we know. Well, that means we can't be our body, right? Because we know our bodies. We know how old it is, how tall it is, how heavy it is, whether it has arthritis in this little finger. We have to tell the doctor about our body. He or she has no idea until we describe what's going on in our body. So that's it. We can't be our body. So we move a little further inward. What about your feeling nature? Your mind, your feeling nature. Could you be your mind? Goodness gracious. Well, I think we pretty much know how we feel. I'm happy. I'm sad. I'm excited today. Oh, I'm a little nervous. You know how you feel. That also is an object that you know. And so you can't be your mind. Goodness, now what happens? If I can't be my mind, my feeling nature, oh, hey, how about my knowledge? That's it. Once upon a time, anyway, I was pretty smart. But wait a minute, I know what I know. I know I don't know calculus. Well, what about my ignorance? I can't be my ignorance because I know what I don't know, and I know what I know, so I can't be my knowledge. Oh, goodness gracious. What's behind all that? What is knowing that? Consciousness, or awareness, if you want to call it that. I am consciousness. That consciousness is who you are. It has no form, so it does not begin or end. And since it has no form, we can only count one. You know, I'd have to have 2 cups here for us to count 1 cup and 2 cups. But that consciousness that is looking out of your eyes and looking out of the eyes of all those wonderful furry friends that we just saw, there's only one consciousness. It's the same consciousness, different mind, different body. That consciousness is the same in God also, in all people, in all animals. That consciousness is the I, the self, the spirit. So considering the spirit, there's only one. Behind and the source of all the physical things is one I am consciousness. The oneness of spirit is the source of everything, encompasses everything, is the wholeness. In the name of wholeness, oh, this was an affirmation that Reverend Sunshine did with us on Sunday. In the name of wholeness, love. So if we're going to say, what can we do in the name of wholeness? That's what it is, love. And what does that have to do with enriching the earth? If we are, in the name of wholeness, being loving, we must care for the earth. We must find out what it needs. We must find out how to stop damaging it, ruining the soil by growing things improperly. We must find out in our own way, in our own place, what is it that I can do in my life that will benefit the earth. In the name of wholeness, in the name of wholeness, I am loving. In the name of wholeness, love guides. In the name of wholeness, I am filled with and expressing the love of God for all creatures, all people. I talked about acceptance earlier. There is no way to reject anyone or set aside a group of people for any reason any reason, from your heart and from your love. You don't have to like them, but they are part of the wholeness. And you are expressing love and care. Love, care, and kindness. God is. God is the wholeness. God is the oneness. God is all there is. And we are expressions of God. We are instruments, you might say. We are co-workers with God in making this world the best place it can be. We are co-workers with God, showing care, showing in our creativity, like Reverend Sally's wonderful crochet. We're showing in our creativity, our love, our respect, our delight in this earth that we live in and enjoy. I give thanks for the opportunity to see and just delight in all the things that I notice that are living and perfect and thriving around me. We've had tremendous rains here, today in particular. And it's always interesting for me to watch what happens with the birds, how we don't see them when it's pouring rain, but they come out and they dance and fly and are magnificent afterwards. So once again, it's the earth, the care for the earth and all her creatures. That's how we can do something loving in the name of wholeness. So I give thanks for this opportunity to share these thoughts with you. And I'm wondering if anybody would like to ask any questions or has comments or has some great other ideas about how we can do things in the name of wholeness.
All right, beloveds, if you have a response or would like to ask a question of Reverend Aikya, please raise your hand up.
Reverend Sunshine.
Yeah, I love what you've said, Rev. Aikya, and it caused me to think of Dr. Daniel Morgan, and I know I have the Dr. Dan group
Yeah.
here that refer to Dr. Dan and everything they do. So I just love that. I love that. I love that. I love that. He was so instrumental in my teaching and my foundational practice. And as I put in the chat, he used to say, you know, you don't learn to, how did he say? Let me remember it. It's like, you know, it's basically to love the God in someone. You don't have to like someone as a human being, but you love the God in them.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so,
Absolutely.
but it's like, how do you get to that? You know, when you're pissed off and mad at somebody because of the human part of them and you don't like them, how do you get to love them in spirit? How,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's a quandary, and I know the answer for me. For me, let me just say what the answer is, and then you can respond to it with your own guidance. But I think it's that I need to take it into practice, in my spiritual practice, into my own heart to feel what that means for me. The distinction of the human and the divine. It's like, how can I love the divine, but not necessarily like this person over there? I think it pertains to what we're dealing with these wars and with these different opinions and all this stuff. It's like, how do we love the God in someone regardless of the human place that we don't like about them? So what do you say about that?
So it reminds me of a time some years back when I had a lot of difficulty with one of my coworkers. She just was always angry. Every time I had anything to do with her, I mean, it wasn't even anything I did. She was just angry and snapping and miserable. And I don't know, for some reason I was inspired to I guess it was a prayer, to pray for her, before I went to work the next day. This was really stressful. I mean, I had to deal with this woman every single day. There was no getting away from it. And I didn't like it. So I just imagined her feeling safe, feeling secure. I imagined her surrounded by love. I sent whatever love I could find in me to her because, she was just another human. I wasn't responsible for whatever she was angry about. Anyway, that's how I thought of her. It was sort of like a meditation for a while, just seeing her as safe and saying, I am not a threat to you. You are loved. You are safe. And it really amazed me. The next day, when I saw her at work, she was completely fine. There was no anger. We had a completely lovely day working together. I never have forgotten that because we are safe in God. If we are in God, we're expressions of God. We are safe. The eternal part of us for sure. And we are loved. I mean, what else is there? I don't know. That's my answer. Anybody else want to pipe in?
Dr. Judith has her hand up.
Dr. Judith, please go ahead. Oh, I can't see Dr. Judith. That's part of the problem.
She's muted. Unmute yourself, Dr. Judith.
Unmute yourself.
Yeah, I had to find the button.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. So many years back, I was in a conflict situation with someone that prior to that was one of my closest friends. And we worked together, and I read about it from Louise Hay, but it had actually come originally from Fritz Perls. And it's just an exercise. And I thought, this can't possibly work. But nothing is working, so I should try it. And it was sitting in an audience with a bunch of people, and the person that I was having the conflict with, I pictured them on the stage, and they were getting whatever they wanted, awards, applause, money, supply. It doesn't matter. You can use it with anything. And it took about actually in that case, it took about 3 weeks, but I was doing it, every day. And things began to change. I think that somehow that was a prayer. I didn't call it a prayer, but that was a prayer for peace in this person's life. And I actually think is what it did is it changed me. My energy I was no longer projecting some sort of a victim consciousness, because I got changed too. And Louise Hay took it a step further, where you then picture yourself on the stage, and that person's in the audience, and you're getting everything that you need, want, have always wanted. And up to that time, I did not take those kinds of things. I did not think they worked. I poo-pooed them, so to speak. It was so powerful, and it worked. And, it worked, and we came back to actually being very close friends. And we're still close friends, even though she now lives in Florida. So I trust in these things. I trust in the ability to look at, the first thing for me that has to happen is when I look at somebody, I don't see them, I work on not seeing them as the other. And that's been, and that applies to anybody, people that I see online or in the news or whatever. That is my goal. I don't want to see them as the other. I go to see them as they are they're the same as me in some way. Even if I can't see it, we are the same. We are one with spirit, and we are just the same. And I'll tell you one thing that I've been doing for years, which actually really helps. When I look at someone and I'm having a challenge there, also, I see the little child within them. And that I can do that now. And that's before they became whoever I'm judging for what they are now, whether in my life or in the news. I see them, at one time they were this innocent little child. Everybody. And that was when they were most knew, even the people I judged knew they were connected to something higher power. So, so
Great examples. I think Paul was saying to me the other day, or no, it wasn't Paul. I don't know why I'm blaming Paul, but someone told me every person has an angel. And even if you don't like the person, you're not getting along with the person, you can love the angel. So I don't know. I'm one of those people who I really love the idea of angels. So that was wonderful also. I'm thinking the sort of meditation or prayer that I did for that woman I was having a hard time with, I was really changing my own mind from being afraid of her and afraid of the conflict and the upset to knowing that she was safe and I was safe and sending her love. And it sounds like you did something that changed your mind with the help of Louise Hay's suggestions.
yeah.
This is really great. Anybody else? I can't see everybody for some reason. So Sally, if you see somebody with a hand up, let me know.
I will let you know. And right now, I'm not seeing anyone with their hand up. Anyone else have a question? Or Reverend Aikya, do you have a question that you'd like to ask us? I'm trying to go back and see what your other questions were.
Well, I did have other questions, but the other thing we could do, if you like, is something fun. How about that?
Let's do that.
Okay. So this is a Christmas quiz. Are you ready? And it's okay to cheat and look up the answer if you want to, or you can just try to get it all by yourself. Here's the first question. Are you ready? Okay. The movie Miracle on 34th Street is based on what real life department store? Nobody, huh?
Unmute yourself to blurt it out if you know it.
Macy's, whoever said that, good for you. Who said
I
that?
think that was Alice.
That was
Yay!
that was a guess on my part.
And you're right, it was. In what modern day country was St. Nicholas born?
Germany?
Czechoslovakia?
Holland,
What?
Holland, Netherlands.
No?
A modern
Spain?
day country. Poland?
No. This one surprised me. I didn't know this one. I would have guessed all those
Greece?
things.
Greece?
No.
Russia.
Is it in
Closer.
Europe?
Closer.
Yes, it's in Europe.
Romania.
No.
That's because my ancestors are from there.
Running out of countries,
Monaco?
Reverend Aikya.
Well, let's leave that alone and we'll come back to it.
What letter does it begin with? No.
P.
Thailand?
No. Europe. It's in Europe.
Turkey.
Poland.
Turkey. That's right.
Oh,
Oh.
Okay, now. Okay, all you good readers. How many ghosts?
Wait, what? I'm sorry, Reverend Aikya. That was Poland?
Turkey.
Turkey.
Okay, how many ghosts show up in A Christmas Carol?
Three.
Nope.
Four.
4 is right. Good for you.
Past, present, future, and what's the fourth one?
I don't know. Is it the one that's the narrator? I'm not sure.
And how many what? How many?
Ghost.
Ghosts show
Oh.
up in A Christmas Carol. So there are 4.
Present, past, present,
Past,
present,
present, future. And
and what we don't
And
know what
then
the fourth one
One of
was
his
exactly.
relatives. One of his relatives or his former
oh, that's
girlfriend.
right. He has a relative who comes to discuss the whole thing with him about
Yeah.
he's in the past.
Past, present, if it's 4, past, present, future, and what?
And his relative who comes to has a discussion with about what
Was it his
Yeah,
relative
who
or was
lives
the
in
other
its
person
own
who
time
had
frame?
died? Well, who had been his partner, right? And was died. No,
Yeah.
never
Was
mind.
the partner. Say a friend, not a relative. You're right, Judith. I think it is the former partner of the business.
Mhm.
Yeah.
but he is also a ghost.
Mhm.
Well, he died. Yes.
Now this one I think is easy, maybe.
Okay.
How many reindeer were in the poem "'Twas the Night Before Christmas"?
Oh God.
8.
8.
There are
9.
8. Can anybody name them all?
God no.
Dasher and Dancer
I'd have
and
to sing the
Prancer and
song.
Comet
I don't think I
Vixen.
want to do that.
Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.
And Rudolph.
And
And
Rudolph.
And Rudolph was the most fun reindeer of all.
Rudolph the red-nosed
Those
reindeer.
reindeer, very shiny nose.
Did we get
And
all
we
8 of them? Almost.
Yes.
I think we got 5 of them listed right there, but
5. Pretty good.
Dasher and
Okay. Well,
You got Dasher and
Dancer
Dancer
and
Prancer and
Prancer
Donner
and
and Comet
Vixen.
and Cupid and Donner and Blitzen.
Blitzen.
Wait a minute, Alice. Comet and Cupid and what?
And Donner.
Donner.
We have
Donner
Donner.
and
Donner and Blitzen
and Prancer.
and
So
Prancer.
it's
Is it Prancer
Somebody
and
did a
Dancer?
quality check. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4,
That
5,
was
6,
5.
7, 8.
Oh,
Is that right?
I don't know.
I
Let me hear all the names.
Dasher,
I only have-
Dancer, Donner, Blitzen, Rudolph, Comet, Cupid, and Prancer.
Okay,
Sound
then we
order.
got 'em. We got them then. Look at that.
Do you?
So here's one that I don't think is hard, but who knows?
Oh, thank you.
Which country started the tradition of putting up a Christmas tree?
Oh,
I didn't think that was going to be hard.
England?
Oh no,
Germany.
Germany.
Germany. That's right.
Oh,
Oh, well.
Bomb, right.
Now
Yeah.
this one
Remember
could
the
have
song with the ball?
many answers, so you'll see why. How do you say Merry Christmas in a language besides English?
Feliz Navidad.
That's
Millie
Spanish.
Maka.
Ooh, is that
Joyeux
Hawaiian?
Noel.
Joyeux Noel, yeah. Any others? Anyway, very good.
Well, listen, if y'all said it, y'all have to put it in the chat.
Okay. Somebody else said Joyeux Noel, so if they can spell it, they can put it in the chat.
I do that because I'm on the phone.
I think this is easy too, but I don't know. Visions of which food danced in the children's heads as they
Sugar plums.
Plums.
Sugar
It
plums.
was the night before
Yay.
Christmas. What's the best selling Christmas song ever?
White
Jingle
Christmas.
bells.
White Christmas is correct.
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
I'm dreaming of a
By whom?
What?
I'm gonna spotlight you now.
Who
Okay.
was it? Who sang it? I mean, everybody
that was
sang
Bing
it.
Bing Crosby,
Bing
but
Crosby.
I can't keep up. I'm trying, but I can't.
There is another. There's also by I think Nat King Cole,
Oh,
and
probably.
he called it the Christmas song.
The Christmas song, yeah. So what was Frosty the Snowman's nose made out of?
Cole.
Carrot. Oh, Cole.
No, it was not a carrot
Carrot. Oh.
or coal. I guessed a carrot too, but I was
Oh,
wrong.
a button nose.
A button, that's
Oh,
right.
button.
Button.
Oh,
And 2 eyes made out of coal.
thank you.
There's coal
Yes,
in there
eyes
somewhere.
made out of coal, right. You could sing that. Snowman. We need to sing at least one of these songs.
Okay, here you go. This one might be challenging. I don't know.
Yeah.
Who wrote Christmas doesn't come from a store?
Oh,
Maybe Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
the Grinch.
The Grinch said it. Who wrote it?
Oh,
Zeus.
Dr. Seuss?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Zeus, yeah.
Yay,
I don't
Dr.
know what his
Seuss.
real name is.
Yay.
His pen name. He had another name.
He
wasn't
does
an
have a
actual
real
doctor.
name.
You have some
Now-
Christmas enthusiasts, Reverend Aikya. Look, you're up for your money here.
Okay, I think this is definitely easy. This might be the easiest one of all. Where was Jesus born?
in
Yeah.
Bethlehem. And
Bethlehem.
Yeah.
Bethlehem, right.
Oh, little town of Bethlehem.
He was born in a manger.
Ah!
No, he was laid in a manger. He was
You
born
got
on
it. How
Oh, he was
still
laid in
is-
a manger, right.
a manger. Born in something else. What was it? Oh, shoot. Oh, I'll think of it eventually.
In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on the vacation
Florida?
First
when they
one?
leave Kevin behind?
The first time.
In Home Alone, where are the McAllisters going on vacation?
New York, isn't it?
Nope,
Paris.
Paris. That's right.
Paris, yeah,
Yay.
Paris.
Oh.
Can't believe that's the only one I got. Terrible.
Squire
Listen,
Noel.
oh, Joanna Noel. In the movie It's a Wonderful Life, what happens every time the bell rings?
Oh,
And
angel gets his
angel
wings.
gets
Wings.
Wings, yeah.
What about wings?
He gets then
The
angel gets his
angels
wings.
get their
Angel
wings.
gets
Gets
its wings. Okay.
Yay! I got two.
Now, I think this is easy. This would be easy for Paul if he hasn't left us in disgust already. What is the Latin title for the carol, O Come All Ye Faithful?
Destus Fidelis? Or
Fidelis.
Fidelis, yes.
Fidelis, yeah.
Oh, here's Frosty again.
Wait, what was the answer?
Adeste Fidelis.
Oh, y'all are too good on this.
I got that.
They
Now I
are.
got
They need
three.
a
I didn't even write that, so y'all write it in there. Okay.
We used to have to sing. We sang that all the time. Anyway. What did Frosty the Snowman do when a magic hat was placed on his head?
he began to dance
He
around.
began to dance around.
That's
Yay.
good. People are good. According to the song, what did my true love give to me on the 8th day of Christmas?
Oh,
Partridge.
Eight
Lord.
maids a milking.
Lady
Yes.
dancing.
Wow,
No,
you
eight for
did one.
milking.
That's
Alice,
What is the
Alice
age of milk?
Herndon is really good at this.
No kidding. Okay, now I really think this is one you should take home. But, I'll skip that one and give it to you last.
Oh,
okay.
This is a trick question.
Okay.
How many wise men came to see the newborn baby Jesus?
3.
I thought it was 3. Was there an extra one somewhere?
We sing about the 3 kings, that's true, but this is not about the kings. It says
Oh.
how many wise men?
It was 3 wise men too, wasn't it? I don't even know. Look,
It's 3 kings, but what about the shepherds that came to see Jesus? Are we going to say they were
4, so
wise?
it's 7.
Oh, that's a trick question.
It's a trick question. The answer to that question is we don't know.
Oh,
listen, I'm going to incorporate this into my talk on Sunday probably because I didn't know the answer right away. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, Yep, we don't know. I thought I said Three Kings too, and everybody was like, no, 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 that's not it. That's not it. Who do the angels sing to at the first Christmas? Actually, I don't know if I know the answers to this. Anyway,
The
Huh.
shepherds? The shepherds in their field?
Yeah, because
who do the
shepherds
angels
sang in
sing to?
reply. In that song, Angels
The
Never
baby
High,
Jesus.
and the angels in reply. I mean, shepherds in reply, echoing their joyous refrains. So it's the shepherds. They sang to the shepherds.
Okay.
I think because so they wouldn't be afraid. It was a question.
Right, because there was that big star in the sky that startled them.
Hmm. Okay, that's it.
And so the
Now
angels get
here's the one you might have to work on for a while.
I've got my pen and paper.
You ready?
I'm ready.
I don't know. You might not get the answer before we end, but I don't know. Pen and paper and a calculator would be handy.
Somebody get
Hey,
Mr.
dear.
Google going.
I got
What is the
78.
Okay, here we go. What is the total
78.
number of gifts? The total number of gifts in the 12 Days of Christmas song.
Oh my God.
yeah.
Wait a minute.
78.
15.
Nope, not even close.
Who said
It's more than
78?
78.
Oh my goodness.
In the first day, then all
One,
12 days, you
plus
have to add them
2 is
up.
3,
3.
plus 4 is.
82.
I can't do mental arithmetic.
Come on, Reverend Sally. What's the answer?
The answer is I just know how to get to it.
So you can explain to them how to get to it.
It's that if you just write out the numbers.
Constance
1,
knows.
2, and you add them all the way up through 12.
Okay, Constance, come on. What is the number?
Well,
Unmute.
it is
Unmute.
78, but if you're going through the song like 12 times, then you get to repeat,
Okay,
you know,
we
like
need
the
to talk
turtle
about
dogs get
Constance because
Let me
she's
get
going to give us the
fine.
answer.
in the
Wait.
first-
Constance, unmute. Unmute,
12 to
Constance.
the 12th power or whatever.
12, the 12th, 144.
No,
No,
78.
that's
Wait,
78,
let's
not
listen to Constance.
144.
Wait.
78.
Everybody. 78.
if I give you
but
the
that's if
answer,
you
Going once.
count the
78 going twice.
if I give you the answer, then who can figure out how it's the answer? The
Hang on,
answer
Rev
is
Ikea. It's like, wait a minute, just a second. So, Constance, say what you said again.
78.
no.
I said
no, it's
Constance.
more than that.
And it's not 144?
No,
Darn it.
78. And you're saying that's wrong.
It's 11. It's
That's correct.
11,310.
What?
no.
Question.
So the present that you get the first day, you also get every other day.
Oh, for God's sake.
Okay, so
I
that's
didn't
12.
know that.
Okay,
That's
Rev
not fair.
Ikea, what's
Okay,
the
so we-
answer? That we want the answer.
You want the answer? 364.
Oh.
And you have to go back and work on it, and you'll
64.
see it's 364.
That's not a fair question for a Jew.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, I'm sure about that.
That's
That's
a good
too
strategic
detailed.
plan to end
All
on
I know are
something like
Christmas
that.
songs.
That's true.
I know a lot of
Okay,
songs.
everybody.
I just have one question, Reverend Ikea.
Yes.
How come Dr. Judith knew almost all the answers? Because
Yeah.
she's Jewish.
Yeah.
So was Jesus. So there you are.
Amen.
That's
Right, she
my,
knew all the answers.
that's my
Perfect ending.
ancestor. He's one of my ancestors. So there you go.
Mhm.
Oh my goodness, you never know what you're going to get when you come to a Wednesday night service, as tonight has demonstrated. Absolutely. So
Joy.
joy
Yes.
is in the house. Reverend Aikya, thank you so much for taking us through this evening's entertainment. This has been absolutely wonderful. Everybody give her some love,
Whoa.
snaps and claps, however you want to do it. Woo! Thank you.
It
And
was fun.
it is fun, huh? We like to have fun here at the Oakland Center. And now I get to tell you about some more ways that we can have some fun. So let's bring up our announcements. I'm going to give it a moment so that the slides can come up. All right, we're having a little, there we go. All right. So coming up this next Sunday, we will have Reverend Sunshine Michelle talking about embodying Christ consciousness as a wholeness prototype. And I have a sneaky suspicion that some of what happened this evening may actually make it into the Sunday service. So I invite you to come to the sanctuary to be with us. And on this Sunday, we will also be doing a candle lighting service. So be prepared ahead of time to know that the next couple Sundays through December, the service will run 90 minutes, give or take. So come join us. Meditation begins at 10 a.m. and the service itself begins at 10:30 a.m. And next Wednesday, we have ministerial candidate Teresa Gardner, and she will be speaking, continuing that conversation from Sunday about embodying Christ consciousness and the wholeness prototype. And here on Zoom, we begin at 6:30 p.m. with the meditation, and then we go into service at 7 p.m. Coming up very soon, I think we got a count of the number of days, but very soon we will be celebrating the retirement gathering for Constance Chapman. We'll be holding a party on Friday, December 29th from 6 to 7:30. And you need to RSVP if you're going to come join us. Please RSVP online by December 22nd so that we can organize and make sure we've got enough for everybody. There will be a light meal catered in. I believe it's her brother who's providing this for us. So come on and join us as we say farewell to Constance. And next, I want to let you know that you can get your gifts at the bookstore.
Ooh.
50% off on all bookstore items this Sunday and next Sunday. So if you haven't done your shopping and you want to go and get something, maybe something for yourself with money that you've received over the holidays, the bookstore is a great place to go and do that. And we are continuing on our Tuesdays and Thursdays to walk the labyrinth in sacred contemplation. The labyrinth is open, the sanctuary is open for you to come in anytime between 11 and 1 to do this. It is a peaceful, although cold, experience. So when you come, be sure that you bring your heavy warm socks if you want to walk the labyrinth without your shoes on. And I want to let you know that the holiday barrel is back. It's in the social hall. You can check out the village newsletter to find out what items are being requested in the barrel and help us fill up that barrel and give to those who maybe are in need this holiday season. We can be answered prayer for these individuals. Okay. Coming in 2024, we will be studying and embodying, even more so than studying, the principles of prosperity communicated in the Abundance Book by John Randolph Price. And I encourage you, if you don't have the book, go get it so that you can start with us on the 1st of January. We'll be saying the affirmations. There are 10 affirmations. We'll be repeating them over the course of 40 days together. This is a really powerful, it's a little book, but it is a really powerful book. And we as a community will be doing this together. So I invite you to make sure you've got that book. All right, we've
Is it
still
in the
got more to
bookstore?
come.
Is it in the bookstore?
It may be in the bookstore, and if it is not, I know you can get it in Amazon and Kindle and many, many other ways. It's worth
They're
it to go ahead
working
and get
on
it.
it, Reverend Sally. They're working on it, but meanwhile, if you want to get it elsewhere, you can.
Yeah, and if you get it elsewhere and then you go in and it's available in the bookstore, buy one for a friend. This is what prosperity is all about. It is about sharing and expanding our prosperity consciousness. Okay, more save the dates coming up. So our next slide here tells us a little bit more about what's going on. We have the Women's Spiritual Transformation Group is going to be starting early in January. We have mine and Reverend Aikya's ordination, which will be on January 13th. We have Taming Your Inner Critic, a workshop hosted by Reverend Mitch Austin. And we have the book study, The Big Leap, also starting in January. So for all of this information, you can look on our website at the events page. And in addition, we have the vision board party that will be taking place on January 20th. And that's actually in 2024. It'll be taking place. So come together, vision for the new year with us, create those vision boards that help you to see all year long what it is that you're visioning for your year. All right, I think I've talked about the abundance book. I've talked about that other stuff. There is just so much happening at the center, and you really want to be a part of it because we have fun. I think as you've seen this evening, we have fun when we come together and play. And I want to let you know that these individuals that are on the slide here, including our brand new incoming operations coordinator, Steve Carter, these are the individuals that you can reach out to if you have questions about what's going on at the Oakland Center, and they can help provide more information. And you can also reach out to any of our practitioners and any of the Board of Trustee members.
What a nice
So-
smile he has.
He does have a nice smile.
Yes.
Even in person, he has a nice smile. So I invite you to look on our social media platforms. We have YouTube, we have Instagram, we have Facebook. And when you go and see what we're putting out there, please subscribe, click the like button, and especially on YouTube and Instagram, make sure that you leave a comment, because every time that you like, subscribe, and leave a comment on these platforms, it gets our numbers up, and then that puts us up higher in the
Oh, okay.
algorithm that puts us in front of more and more people. And that's what we want. We want to get our information out there in front of more and more people who will come and join us and participate in things like the Wednesday night service and the Dr. Dan noontime devotional. So, all right, that's enough of that. And now we're going to move into our time of joyous giving. And we have an affirmation here. So I invite us all to turn within, to notice your own heart space, to notice the joy and the love and the wonder that we shared this evening, especially as we were going through those questions and the trivia with the what happens at Christmas. My
Yeah.
heart was fully expanded. And so as I am allowing my awareness to return to that expanded, joyful heart, I invite us to say this affirmation for giving together, because this is what we do. We joyously, I give with an attitude of abundance, knowing that as I give, I do receive. So thank you. We are giving and receiving joy and love in this season, and we are inviting you to give and receive financial love to the center. And the ways that you can give that financial love is to navigate to the website, www.oaklandcsl.org, click on that donate button. And when you click on that donate button, it takes you to a place where you have many an abundance of options on how to give. You can give via Zelle, you can give via text, you can send us a regular check in the snail mail. You can come and join us on a Sunday morning and give your donation into the basket. Many, many ways to donate financially to the center. So next, what I want to do is give thanks, because it truly takes a village for us to put this all together and bring it to you, to each of us every week. And so I want to thank the tech team in particular. I want to thank Constance Chapman, Alice Herndon, Alice Knutson. I want to thank Reverend Sunshine Michelle for supporting us in this process. I want to thank Paul Pursuti for being the host when I'm not here. It truly takes a village. And I absolutely want to thank our speaker this evening, Reverend Aikya Param. What a wonderful interactive evening we have had. Thank you. Thank you to everyone that's here participating. This has been a rich, interactive, wonderful evening. So thank you. So as we end this evening, Reverend Aikya, who would you like to have close us out in prayer?
Alice Herndon, do you want to do it again? Or Alice Knutson, I'm sorry. I get the Alice's mixed up.
Sure, I'd love to pray us out.
Thank you.
So just allow your eyes to close and go within. And just breathing into this moment, knowing that God is right here, right now, fully present. And I am one with the one, just as we are all one with this glorious vibration of love and oneness and kindness and goodness. And what a blessing it has been to come together in the name of God, in the name of oneness, celebrating this time together of sacred community. I'm so grateful for every Wednesday night we come together to show our love, to celebrate, to learn, to grow. And this evening has been extraordinary. We've laughed, we've studied, we've listened to all the wisdom that Reverend Aikya has offered us, and we are filled. We were so filled with goodness and joy and laughter and love and oneness. And I give thanks for this time tonight. And I know that as we wind this time up together and we go into our own lives and our own homes, we take all that's happened, that's transpired this evening, we take it with us and we let it inspire us throughout the week. And we remember our oneness, and we remember how blessed we truly are. And so as you leave and go home and enjoy your evening, take that spark of love with you and let it grow within. And please join me in saying, and so it is.
So
And
it
so
is.
it is. Amen. Ashe, and blessed be.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is. Amen.
Thank you. Thank